a major twist in the story. The South Carolina Supreme Court is overturning his double murder convictions, ruling he did not receive a fair trial.
This is a wild turn of events. It's stunning because anytime a murder conviction, particularly in a high-profile case, is overturned, it's very unusual.
Alex Murdaugh was convicted of murdering his wife and son, sentenced to life in prison, and the entire country moved on like the story was over. But now the South Carolina Supreme Court has unanimously blown the whole thing apart because the woman managing the jury was allegedly more focused on selling books than protecting the integrity of a double murder trial. Not because Alex Murdaugh proved he was innocent, because the courtroom itself stopped being trustworthy. Let's back up, because to understand why this matters, you need to understand who Alex Murdaugh was before any of this happened. The Murdaugh family had served as the local prosecutor in their South Carolina Low Country region, consecutively from 1920 to 2006. His father, grandfather, and great-grandfather holding that office for nearly a century. Alex Murdaugh was not just a prominent attorney. He was essentially legal royalty in that corner of South Carolina. The kind of man whose last name opened doors before he even knocked, and for decades, that is exactly what he did. The problem started unraveling in February 2019 when his son Paul, drunk behind the wheel of the family boat, crashed into a bridge and killed a 19-year-old girl named Mallory Beach. Paul was charged with causing her death and was awaiting trial when the murders happened. Alex reportedly went room to room at the hospital that night, coaching witnesses on what to say. The family's legal connections meant Paul walked free for months, while a teenager's family waited for justice that never fully came. Then, on June 7, 2021, gunshots rang out at the Murdaugh family's Moselle hunting estate. Maggie Murdaugh and their 22-year-old son Paul were found shot dead near the dog kennels. Alex called 911 just after 10 p.m., saying he had come home to find them. His story was that he had been sleeping on the couch, woke up, went to visit his mother who had late-stage Alzheimer's, came back and found them. Simple, clean. Except for one problem. Paul had recorded a Snapchat video at 8:44 p.m. that night. In the background, you can hear voices. Paul's voice, Maggie's voice, and a third voice calling the family dog. Multiple witnesses identified that third voice with 100% certainty as Alex Murdaugh. He was at those kennels 5 minutes before prosecutors say his wife and son were murdered, and he had been lying about it from the moment the first officer arrived. When he finally admitted he had been there, he blamed his opioid addiction for the lie, an addiction he said had him taking up to 60 pills a day and spending tens of thousands of dollars a week. He admitted stealing millions from grieving clients. He admitted lying to his own family, but he swore he did not kill Maggie and Paul. The jury did not believe him. Honestly, most of America didn't either. They convicted him in under 3 hours. And then the story got stranger. After the trial, the county clerk of court, a woman named Becky Hill, wrote a book about the case. And it came out that she had been doing everything in her power to make sure that book had a satisfying ending. Hill told jurors to watch Murdaugh's actions and watch him closely when he took the stand. She told them not to be fooled by the defense's evidence. When deliberations began, she told them this shouldn't take us long. She also tried to have a juror she believed was sympathetic to the defense removed from the panel entirely and lied to the judge to make it happen. Her colleagues testified that Hill had openly boasted about a book deal on the Murdaugh murders that would pay for her lake house. At that point, you are not managing a trial anymore. You are producing a season finale. She was behaving less like a court official and more like a Netflix executive protecting the ending. The woman managing those jurors, the person they looked to for guidance and direction throughout the entire trial, was actively working to convict the defendant so she could sell more books. On the 13th of May, 2026, the South Carolina Supreme Court unanimously overturned Alex Murdaugh's murder conviction after concluding Becky Hill crossed a line no court official is ever supposed to cross. All 5 justices agreed she compromised the integrity of the trial and denied Murdaugh his constitutional right to an impartial jury. 2 life sentences erased, new trial ordered. And this is the part that should make people furious. Hill already pleaded guilty to perjury and obstruction of justice months earlier. She admitted she lied. She admitted misconduct happened around one of the most high-profile murder trials in America. And her punishment for helping blow up a double murder conviction was 3 years probation. That is it. No prison, no dramatic fall, no real accountability. Just probation after helping turn a courtroom into something that looked less like a search for truth and more like a production that already decided how the ending needed to go. Imagine risking a double murder conviction for bookstore royalties. That has got to be one of the dumbest corruption stories in modern legal history. Meanwhile, Murdaugh's legal team has now filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Hill personally, claiming she deprived him of his constitutional right to a fair trial and seeking the more than $600,000 he spent defending himself in the first trial. His attorneys have made clear none of that money will go to Murdaugh personally, given what he owes his victims. The point is accountability, because so far Hill has faced almost none. Years of courtroom drama, international headlines, endless media coverage, and now the entire thing has to start over. Now, here's the part that should keep everyone up at night. South Carolina's Attorney General has vowed to retry Murdaugh as soon as possible. His defense team says there is no chance that happens before 2027. There are venue issues, discovery to redo, a new judge to be assigned, and a defense team that says they have uncovered new evidence since the first trial, including information about potential third-party suspects that they are not disclosing until the retrial. Murdaugh remains in prison serving a 40-year sentence for his financial crimes. He is not going anywhere, but the murder convictions, the ones that put him away for life, are gone. And a new jury will have to decide all over again whether this man killed his wife and son. The defense says once you strip away the emotion, the prosecution's case starts looking a lot less bulletproof. No murder weapons ever found, no forensic evidence tying him to the scene. A crime scene so badly mishandled that a detective drove over potential tire tracks from the actual killer and destroyed them that same night. And unidentified male DNA found under Maggie's fingernail that was never matched to anyone and never followed up on. The prosecution says the kennel video is everything. 3 witnesses who knew Alex Murdaugh's voice for decades all said the same thing. That is him on that recording 5 minutes before his wife and son died. And he lied about it for months. Paul Murdaugh recorded that video on his phone at 8:44 p.m. He was dead by 8:49. That video is the last thing he ever made. And in a murder case where the victims cannot testify, Paul Murdaugh testified anyway. A new jury will hear all of it again. A new judge will oversee it. And somewhere in a South Carolina prison, Alex Murdaugh is apparently telling other inmates he still cannot believe the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. His defense attorney says his client's reaction when he heard the news was simple. If I get acquitted, maybe they will finally find the people who actually killed Maggie and Paul. Whether you believe him or not, and a lot of people do not, one thing is not in dispute. Becky Hill got a book deal, Alex Murdaugh gets a new trial, and Maggie and Paul Murdaugh are still dead.